Meeting to order of the Lincoln County Board of Education. We are meeting in regular session. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. The time is 6 p.m. and we're at the central office in Hamlin. This is a meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the county school system's business. There's a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda item public comments. This meeting is being live streamed and a video copy of the meeting will be on the board's website within 5 working days. At this time, I'll ask Board Member Cartwright if he'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Takes us to agenda item 2. We have Board Member Cartwright and myself present. On the phone called in is Board Member Mosteller and Board Member McComas, and we anticipate Board Member Burns showing up in the near future. With that, we'll go to agenda item 3, public comment. Did we have anybody sign in for public comment? No. So that takes us to agenda item 4, presentation and reports. And we have with us tonight Mr. John Smith and Miss Amber Hanna talking about the free legal care for families. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you all so much, board members, for having me. I appreciate your time. I'll try to keep it brief and explain my program and what we would like to do to partner with the schools here in Lincoln County. As they said, my name is Amber Hanna, and please bear with me. I'm on the same regiment from the doctor yesterday that you said you were sinus infection, but I'm not contagious. So I am the program supervisor for a program at the Charleston Legal Aid Office called Lawyer in the School. And Superintendent, we may have presented a few years ago at the superintendent meeting. I don't know if you remember us being there. Yes, but we started in, just to give you a brief history of what Lawyer in the School is, I always like to start my presentations to any Board of Education, and you can always follow up with the Department of Ed to know. Lawyer in the School never takes a case where the school could possibly be a party. And we just like to alleviate that worry from the beginning, and it should be a worry. Yes, we do provide legal representation to school families, but we never take a 504, an IEP, anything where the school could possibly potentially be a party to a lawsuit. We want to partner with the schools. And just to give you a little bit of background, Lawyer in the School started in 2017 on a small private grant. In Charleston. We started at Mary C. Snow, where I still host a clinic every week now, every Wednesday, because we saw a need that there were a lot of grandparents, and I've been talking to Sue, she's wonderful. There were a lot of grandparents that were raising grandchildren. I think it was around, at that point, it's gotten higher now, 60%. We saw the need there, so we did a pilot project where we would come to the school, basically a law firm or a law office on wheels, and they would set us up in the art room or a room they had available, and we would provide free legal services to families that qualified. Now, how we're a little different from general legal aid is they receive federal funds. We don't. We are completely, hello? We are completely funded through private grants. And so we can go where legal aid can only do 125% over the poverty level. We can do up to 200%. So we can get even a lot of lower middle class families qualified. Another great thing about Lawyer in the School is access. And what I mean by that is what I like, most of my referrals come from people like Healthy Grand Families, Community in the School workers, McKinney-Vento workers, but also school families that call me or walk into my clinics. But we like to partner with these other services to try to help families. And what I am here tonight requesting, and I'll go through this packet with you, is I just recently got assigned. We've had to condense our program quite a bit. We were statewide, But now we are basically running, I'm doing Kanawha County and surrounding areas. Our funding got cut. We were supposed to get appropriations money I had written for last year, but it was approved by both senators, and it was frozen. The Department of Ed, as we've all heard the stories, their budget has been extremely limited, so they were not able to fund us anymore after 2024, although they still partner and, of course, endorse our program. But I am covering Lincoln County as one of my counties, and I consider it a God thing. I hope nobody's offended by that. But I called John, who's one of my friends, and I said, hey, I live in Barboursville. I have ties to Lincoln County. I said, I've heard that there's a need out there and I'm going to share with you some of what we're targeting here in a second, what type of cases I take. But I said, I hear there's a need out there where there are that a lot of kids aren't being raised by their parents, that there's child safety issues where they could go into the system, custody issues, that sort of thing. Who should I talk to at the Board of Education to try to get in, or to try to get into the board? And John said, well, let me make a few calls. And this was a few weeks ago, and you all graciously accepted for me to be before you today. But here is what I do. Our whole program is about keeping kids safe. And what I mean by that is I can do anything from give legal advice to try to help somebody point a family in the right direction to receive benefits. But I do a whole lot of guardianships with grandparents and other kinship caregivers. I do a lot of adoptions. I also do domestic violence work. Not on the defense end, but if someone comes in and a child and a parent are in danger, I will help them through that process and go to court if need be. I also do housing. And let me just briefly tell you a little bit what I'm talking about. Typically at my clinic, what happens is a grandmother or grandfather will either walk in, or I'll get a phone call from a school partner like Healthy Grand Families or Community in School. But this is what Grandma says to me, and I've been doing this for several years. I make $843 in Social Security a month. My 3 grandchildren were dropped off on my step last night. Unfortunately, their mom is addicted and she's on the street, and they're in danger being in her care right now because she's sick. And I don't want to go to the DHHR and apply for benefits because I know they'll go after her and take her benefits, and then she's going to knock down the door and come back and get these kids, and they'll be in danger. But I don't know how I'm going to feed them. I don't know how to take them to the doctor. The doctor won't see them. I don't have permission. I can't find her, and she won't sign, or he won't sign anything. I don't know what to do. So basically, I sit down with that grandparent or kinship caregiver, and I say, okay, step 1, here's what you can do on your end. Step 2, hey, let's get Community in School involved, and maybe they can help you with this, and we can get you, or Healthy Grand Families, we can get you some food while we get this process rolling. And in the meantime, here is what I think you should do, and I will go and file a petition for guardianship in the family court if CPS isn't involved yet. And within 10 days, we have a hearing. In the meantime, of course, the parents have to be served, and sometimes that's through publication in the paper. But in the meantime, it's only 10 days, and if that parent shows up, I say, you're going to have to call CPS or the police if they're in danger. But it's such a short window to get into the court. So I'm not going to go on and on. I know you all are busy and have other things to talk about. But my goal is basically, number 1, I've put an MOU in that packet. I have done those MOUs. We've had to reduce our services, but just to give you an example, I've been all over the state with the attorneys that were working for Lawyer in the School. Been to Hancock County, Ohio County, Jefferson County, Putnam County, Clay County, Boone County. We've been before these boards, and I'm just sorry I haven't gotten to you all before, but I haven't had your county before this, so I apologize that the prior Lawyer in the School attorney in the Huntington office did not get to you. But what I'd like to do, and any questions, I welcome them, is if you think it would be beneficial to set up a school clinic or a clinic in the library or community center, or if you would just like for me to be a referral basis. I will do what you think. You all know your county well, better than anybody, and what your school system needs. I don't. But what I'm asking is, and we can change up this MOU, and I'll work with you all however you think it is beneficial. But of course, before I would start reaching out to the schools officially, such as principals or anything like that, I'm asking for your approval to work in your county. What you will find in these packets, of course, I told you the MOU. I also put behind that MOU, we were funded for 2 school years by the Department of Ed, and although they're still through COVID funds, and that's when we were able to spread statewide and service every county. We split it into regions. I put the report from 23 and 24 if you all want to talk this over or figure out if you want us to be in your school system. It just kind of gives you an idea of what we've done in the past. Of course, it's condensed now to certain counties, but it's the same premise. It's the same work that I'll be doing in this county and surrounding areas. I also have in that packet at the very front a QR code flyer and my direct number. So you're going to get me, and I'm going to call back. Feel free to give that out to anyone. They can QR code it if they're tech savvy, and they can fill out a few questions, and that gives me permission to call them. So you can give those to school families or staff. But also my direct office line is at the bottom. You can give that to anyone I like to. Now, sometimes there's an emergency, but typically I'm going to call a family back in 24 hours or less. So that's my direct line, and you don't have to wait for weeks to get through to legal aid.
That 343-30139 number is yours.
Extension 2126, that's me.
Okay.
Yes. Also, for some flyers included are a menu of services. It tells you the cases that I handle, and also how I've worked with McKinney-Vento, but that goes with community and school and healthy grand families too. What I like to do, and it does work better if you start a clinic in the school, because the families we try to do around pickup time, statal pickup time, they see you there and they get used to you. And I send home backpack flyers. I print off hundreds at Mary C. Snow and Capitol High where I'm doing a clinic. We typically like to do elementary schools because that's really the age. By the time they get to high school, most people say, what's the point in filing now? But we do one at Capitol because there's such a need. But I typically, once a month or once every other month, send those backpack flyers home in the kids' backpacks through the office. And just to say, hey, here's when we're at your school. If you can't get to the clinic, give me a call at this number. And I think I have covered everything that I wanted to summarize to you, and please feel free to ask me any questions if you have any.
Now, do you go to the schools and and meet with the children and then meet with the parents and children together?
No, we don't meet with children at all. Now, sometimes I'll get a student at Capitol High that comes in and says, I want to be emancipated, as you can imagine. So I set them down and I say, this is a service to the teachers, I say, here's the requirements of the statute. Do you have your own place? Do you have your own vehicle? That sort of thing. But typically what it is I talk to the parents. I don't represent children. I'm not a guardian ad litem, but it's typically the parents, but a lot of times it's whoever's caring for those children, the kinship caregivers, the grandparents. I also do wills for grandparents, and let me give you an instance of that, and I'll be quick, I promise. I had a mother, actually, wasn't a grandparent, a mother that was terminally ill in St. Albans a few years ago, and she was going to die at any moment. Her stomach was going to rupture. She had a little middle school boy, and this mother's sister had been like a second mother. This boy lived right next door. He had a dad addicted in North Carolina that would come in about every Christmas, strung out, and bring him a teddy bear, but he was still a construction worker, so he's paying $400 child support a month. He found out on Facebook Mom was dying. He said, I'm going to come get him. As soon as I get as soon as she dies. Well, that little boy was terrified. He didn't even know this guy, knew he was, his father. So what we did is I went and did a will for the mother, and a lot of people don't know this. I didn't before I started doing this several years ago. A person can put in their will who they would like for the guardian to be, and although it's not an automatic, the judges they consider that heavily. So what we did is, unfortunately, couple weeks later, mother passed away, and I got a private attorney in Putnam County to file for guardianship for sister. They attached that will to the guardianship petition, put everything about dad in there. Kid gets to stay with the only family he's ever known, even though he'd suffered this terrible loss. Gets to stay in his school. Now aunt's getting child support. So that's just one of the little things that how we try to keep these kids safe and stable. And another thing that we try to do is prevent CPS. We try to hit them, and that's the perfect place to do it, because who sees it first? The people that work with these families in the schools. That's the community hub in our state. Let's be honest. It's so important. And a lot of times we can try to intervene before the CPS calls gets made, and these kids are further traumatized and jerked out of a bad situation. A smooth transition is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
All right, the only question I have is just looking at your school-based clinics. Are these ones that you would set up with the principal, say, for example, I'm going to do a clinic at this school on this month on this day, and then the next month it might be a different school? It's not a continual process, or how does it?
We typically, how we've done it is stay at the same school. So that and it's where a principal, basically where the principal, we would have to have their approval. A lot of times we try to target a Title I where there's the most need. So, but I would be willing to go if we need to do different schools and we could advertise, if you all would be willing to advertise on Schoology, I would be willing to do that. What I have done is done a clinic at one school where we show up either once a week or once a month, and then I've done pop-up clinics at different schools and sent backpack flyers
That's
and
where I was going with
advertised.
it, but,
Yeah, so I could basically do it however you want. I will however you all would like to set it up. But I will tell you the consistency is when you start getting more people, because I've noticed where I've been doing this a while, it usually takes 6 months to a year to really get there. Well, maybe sometimes not that long to really get a steady stream. Like now at Mary C. Snow, I typically have at least 4 or 5 come in every week.
You could, at a minimum, you could distribute your material in all of our schools, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be great. I just wanted to make sure I got the board's approval before I began that process.
So I'm just looking at the LIS crew, which is the Lawyer in Schools crew. Looks like you got 5 different lawyers representatives for the entire state. Is that correct? 'Cause I see, I'm not taking away from, you say that you haven't been in Lincoln County, but it looks like Miss Burley says that she is serving Lincoln County. So is that?
That is the 2023 and 24 report, and I should have explained that better. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That is when we were fully staffed.
Okay.
We are shrunk down now to me and the Morgantown attorney. It's the only funding that we could keep. So that's why there's the switch. Now I have Lincoln, Kanawha, Boone, Putnam, and Clay.
Okay.
And that's the only thing we have around here. So what I talked to our executive director about is when I found out that Lincoln County was at 70% or maybe higher, where other people were raising the children rather than their parents, I said, I don't think Lindsay even talked to the board out there. It's 20 minutes behind my house. My little boy's actually over there practicing right now. I didn't sign him up soon enough for Barboursville. He's playing Lincoln County baseball this year. And I said, you know what, I want to go where the need is.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of like a fine-tuned spool in Kanawha County. So I would like to, Clay County, we basically do it by referral. But I really would like to target Lincoln County if you all think that it would be beneficial and try to help some of these school families.
So as far as beneficial, I definitely think that's the case.
Oh, I do too.
There's definitely a need.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'd like to review some more, leaf through this, read through this, and that kind of thing. But I think there's definitely a need. So
Okay, well, thank you.
I appreciate you coming presenting and letting us know about this
Yeah.
opportunity.
Absolutely, and feel free to call me. If any of you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to call me.
Okay,
We'll,
Okay.
so
like I
this
said,
number down here is your number?
That's my
Okay.
number.
As a board, we'll discuss it, and then we'll get back with our
All right.
superintendent, and he can reach out further.
Okay.
So, but thank you.
Thank you all
very
for your
much.
time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
May I add something to that program?
Well, sure.
She came to our grandfamilies meeting last week, and all the grandfamilies were very interested. And a lot of them spoke to her before she left, and she's even helping a couple of them. So it's very much needed for the grandfamilies program.
And to tag on to, she was talking about grandmother not being able to feed the three. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but I run a food bank out of my office. Anybody with proof of residence can get 2 food boxes a month, and no questions asked.
Do the schools know that?
That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I don't know
okay.
if they do or not. I know Sue and her folks, Sue's been aware of it for a while.
We discussed that at our monthly family engagement meeting, so all the counselors, social workers, and CIS people know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, just have to bring proof of residence, that's all they have to have.
Sounds great, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
Yes, thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
So, with that, that takes us to our agenda item 5, approval of the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second.
second by Mrs. Burns. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mostello,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries 5-0. Takes us on to it. Thank you. Takes us on to agenda item 6, consent. We've got items, looks like A through J. Give you a second. to-
Yeah, give us a minute or two to look over those.
Looks like we're adopting several textbooks.
Make a motion to approve consent.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Mosteller. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 7, which is policies. And we've got, these are policies that the superintendent recommends the board approve to be revised. And there are 6 policies there, which we've had in our packet.
Now, will we read these after they're revised before we approve them?
These are the ones that are going out for review.
Okay,
All these already been, they're coming off review, yeah.
okay,
They were in your packet and emailed to you.
okay.
I'll make a motion to approve policy.
Motion by Mr. Mosteller,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Cartwright. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 8, allowed and authorized payment of bills.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Burns,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Cartwright. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries 5-0. Moves us on to agenda item 9, personnel. That's direct your attention to the blue sheet
Yeah.
right behind our agenda. There are many items.
Yeah, give
on
us a
the,
minute to look at that.
Personnel section. Just trying to find the note there. looks like items A through Z, took the whole alphabet, so,
There's a lot of people on there too.
and a lot of these are just procedural things that have to be done.
Mr. Wilson, I'll make a motion to approve personnel.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second that.
second by Mrs. Burns. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mostow,
Yay.
Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 10, superintendent updates.
We've had an interesting week. Start off by telling you that Saturday, all of our career tech education students at the high school and as well as some students from Hamlin Pre-K-8 traveled to Fairmont to participate in Skills USA. There were over 6,000 competitors
Up
there
there
at Fairmont.
wow.
And we had several medal winners, and I was very proud of their, of their behavior, of their efforts and what they put into it, and also very proud of the instructors that went with them on their time over the weekend to make sure that those kids got that opportunity. So that we were very well represented, and I was glad to be a part of it. Skills USA is something I've been a part of now for past 20 years, and it grows every year. We were also awarded, Lincoln County High School was awarded a Chapter of Excellence, and there are several different criteria they have to meet in order to get that honor, so they were awarded that as well. So we're very proud of them and just wanted to give them kudos, as well as their instructors for participating in that. And we've had many good competitions coming up from our kids in our CTE programs. The HOSA students, the early childhood students, or the Grow Your Own program, we'll be recognizing all those students in future board meetings. So they've all done very well this year. They've represented Lincoln County proud and put a lot of hard work and effort into it, along with their instructors, to make sure that these kids have the opportunities to do these things. So I was very proud of that. We had a situation this week to had a structural engineer come in and look at the floor under the Hamlin kitchen, not the cafeteria, the kitchen. And it's been decided we're going to close that kitchen effective Friday. And we're looking at that to try to get that repaired. It's a flooring issue to get that repaired so we can have that back in place. Been working diligently with Kayla and Mr. Cremines and Ms. Huffman, and there's a plan in place that no students will go without lunch. We're gonna prepare lunches like we always would, like we did when we first started here. All the cold food, salad bar, things of that nature will be prepared just as normal over there. We'll prepare the hot food at Lincoln County High School and bring it over for
Take it
them.
over there.
So there's a plan in place and kudos to Ms. Kayla Adkins. She never skipped a beat. As soon as she found out that was what was going on, she jumped into action, and within a couple of minutes had a good solid plan laid out, and so we'll get that moving. So that's all I had for the evening.
I'm assuming with that move, I'm glad there's a plan in place, because there's always things that come up that are out of our control.
Yes.
But with that plan in place, preparing the food at Lincoln County High School and transporting it over, are some of the cooks that are at Hamlin going to be able to help in that?
Absolutely. We have, there'll be a part of them over there prepping the cold bar, and a part of them will go to the high school to prep the hot food.
Okay.
And then they'll probably rotate that so that not everybody's doing the same thing all the time.
All the time.
So I think it'll, that's the plan at this point.
Okay.
Good news is we only have, what, a month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, 34 school days of meal prep, so.
Bad news
That's the
is
new-
we've got a floor to prepare, but.
Correct.
Yeah.
You think they'll be able to get that done before next school year, probably?
Yes, I would think so. I think if they get on that pretty quickly, and Jerry's already on it, I think they're actually going to start moving things So we've had to take some of our other projects and put them on the back burner because that's going to take priority. So we pulled some people off some projects, and they're going to start removing equipment, I think, this next week. To get that real, first thing they have to do is run electricity and plumbing over to the area where we're moving the cold bar and a couple of the warmers. And so that'll be going on. It'll be a fury of activity over there for a little while.
And, is that something that will require a bid process?
Yes.
So we're gonna get,
You're probably looking at 3 weeks at the soonest to get a bid out and advertise and get somebody picked to do it, and then when they can start, so.
okay. But we are rolling forward with.
Yes.
With move, okay.
Yep.
Good deal.
We are.
All right. Thank you. That takes us to agenda item 11, board member comments.
There was a question last week on whether to have the April 7th meeting due to spring break.
Do we have to have it?
We can definitely reschedule it. I think, as far as I'm concerned, as a board member, I'm fine, but you all
I'll be here.
You all are off, so.
And if you need anything, you can get a hold of us, to give us a yes or a no on whatever you're wanting. All of us are pretty handy for you to get a hold of.
I'll be in town. We can,
We could meet.
it's up to you all.
I mean, I'm in town, so it doesn't matter to me.
We were just looking at the, 3 board members, y'all have kids in school,
Yeah.
you're gonna do something over spring break.
Yeah,
Also not gonna be much between now and next Tuesday.
Probably not.
yeah.
Which the next board meeting would be the 21st.
21st of April.
Mm-hmm.
Is that sufficient time, or should we reschedule one after? I mean, if we do cancel the one in the first week, should we move it to the second week, or is that,
The board meeting to the second week?
or will the time be sufficient to go to the 21st?
Anything with personnel that would require us to do the 14th? So-
We could do the 21st.
Finances should be fine. I mean, if you decide.
And worst comes to worst, we could do a special call. on
That's
that.
right, he could always call us,
I mean, I say we just
Move it to
cancel.
the 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. All right. That's all I had.
So we're gonna cancel the 21st meeting?
No, we're canceling the
That'll be
7th.
the next one.
The 7th one, okay,
Yeah, the 21st will be the next meeting.
okay.
And that's due to spring break,
Mm-hmm.
and just, respecting people's time. So, all right, well, that doesn't require any kind of voting or anything, just letting us know that we're doing it. So, okay, so April 7th, meeting will be canceled, and next meeting will be April
21st?
21st.
Okay.
All right. Any other comments?
Mhm.
Don't have anything to
Takes us to agenda item 12, which is a superintendent evaluation.
Mhm.
make a motion to enter executive session.
Motion by Cartwright to enter executive session,
I'll second that.
second by Burns. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay. The time is 6:35, that carries 5-0. So we are now in executive session.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright, second by Mrs. Burns. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries, the time is 7:16, and that carries 5-0. We are now Back in regular session, while we were in executive session, there was no votes taken or decisions made. But following executive session, the board is pleased to report that the superintendent has exceeded expectations in his evaluation. We commend his strong leadership, his consistent presence throughout the district, and his commitment to ensuring that the central office team is visible, supportive, and accountable, and serving our students and staff. So
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Barnett.
we appreciate you.
Yes, we
and-
thank you.
And the work that you're doing and the growth that we have seen.
With everybody,
Yeah.
with the kids and all the employees.
We,
And we appreciate that.
we just ask that you keep going. No senioritis or anything around here.
No, it's not.
Full steam ahead. So, congratulations and thank you.
Lucky
Well,
to
thank
have
you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I certainly appreciate that.
So with that, it takes us to agenda item 13, which is employee discipline.
I'll make a motion to enter back into executive session.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright to enter executive session to discuss employee discipline.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Mosteller. Mrs. Burns,
Yes,
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Mr. Mosteller.
Yay.
Sorry, skipped over Ms. McComas.
Yes.
And Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries, well, the time is 7:18. And that carries 5-0.
Mhm.
So we are back in executive session. By Mr. Cartwright,
I seconded.
second by Mrs. Burns.
Uh-huh,
Mrs. Burns,
yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay. The time is 7:38. That passes 5-0. So we have returned from executive session back to regular session. During executive session, there were no votes taken or decisions made. Agenda item 13 is employee discipline, ratification of suspension of service employee. Do I have a motion to,
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. McComas, to ratify the previously imposed 2-day suspension of March 16th and 17th, 2026, without pay of a service employee, and the board has made a decision to add an additional 3-day suspension on top of the 2-day suspension, given the information and background that we discussed. Mrs. Burns,
Yes,
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
Mr. Wilson is a yay, and the employee's name is
Irvin with an I-R-V-I-N, Workman.
Workman.
Irvin Workman.
Now, those 3 days, obviously, we wouldn't be able to tell them until tomorrow, so it'd be the 2nd, 3rd, and the day after spring break, which is the 13th of
Yes.
April.
Yes. And that carries 5-0. Employee B, administrative leave for professional employee.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. McComas,
Excuse me.
to approve the 2-day administrative leave, which was March 11th and 12th, 2026, with pay of a professional employee. Mrs. Burns,
Yes,
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay, and the employee's name,
Is Michael Paddock, it's P-A-T-I-C-K.
P-A-T-I-C-K.
Correct.
Okay.
and that carries 5-0. And takes us to employee C, termination of service employee.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second it.
Second by Mrs. Burns, to approve the superintendent's recommendation to terminate the probationary contract of a service employee effective March 31st, 2026. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
And Mr. Wilson is a yay, and that employee's name?
Is Job Gill, Jobegill.
Job Gill, and that carries 5-0.
Oh.
That takes us to agenda item 14, adjourn until Tuesday, April 21st.
April the 21st.
Yes, we previously discussed canceling the April 7th meeting, so our next meeting will be Tuesday, April 21st, 2026, 6 p.m. at the central office in Hamlin.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Mosteller. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay, and the time is 7:42.
7:42.